here with Iran and with Coach Quiros. How did you get here? Just, I mean, this seems like a job. I mean, I know that it's a great challenge, and coaches always want things that they can build and kind of sink their hands into and say, I'm going to mold this and help this grow. Why was this so attractive to you?
I've been very fortunate and very blessed. First of all, my father had a great impact on my passion for the game. He was a professional goalkeeper himself. In terms of my professional journeys, I've been very fortunate and blessed to be surrounded by people who believed in me. Without them, this dream and this journey, this fantasy that I'm living wouldn't have been possible. But it started around 25 years ago. You know, I met Coach Carlos Queiroz. I was a liaison when Portugal national team played in the U.S. Cup. And we had an opportunity to exchange some ideas and some concepts and some thoughts. And few people know this, but Coach Queiroz was a former goalkeeper. So we had something in common. And we both agreed that if Portugal could produce Eusebio and could produce Figo and now Ronaldo, why can't we produce world-class goalkeepers? And it came down to a simple conclusion. The fact is there was no professional system. So I told him I'd pay my way and I would go to Portugal and just give me an opportunity to work with their best. And from there, the relationship, the partnership, both professionally and personally, developed. It wasn't easy for me. It was a rude awakening to work with a world-class coach of Carlos Queiroz's ability. You know, he was very demanding, obsessive to details. And I remember specifically back in 1994 in Florida, Tampa, Florida, he started speaking to me around midnight and he ended at 4 in the morning, just pacing back and forth, challenging me if I really, truly wanted to pursue this career and the responsibilities of the winning business. And he ignited my fire, and the flame has been going on ever since.
Specific to Iran, when you got in this situation, you mentioned trying to take Portugal's goalkeeping to the next level. What have been the challenges that you guys have faced in this team? What are the specific things that you said, that has to be improved, this needs to be tweaked?
That's a great question. There was a lot of challenges and obstacles with the Iran national team. From the ability perspective, technically, they're very solid, they're very clean with the ball. In terms of physically, for the Iranian league, they're at a good standard, but for the international arena, they were very below standard. So the first training session when we arrived, all the players were just sitting on the floor, on the pitch, waiting for the technical staff to come to get them going. We eliminated that. Once they arrive, they have to start touching the ball around. Unlike the rest of the world, where the league is preparing their players for the national team, we're actually the reverse. The national team is preparing the players for their league. Above and beyond that have been the sanctions. It has restricted the Iran national team. You can't imagine the challenges that this team has had, both from a resource, financial, visas, the restrictions that surround the team. It's amazing, it's a miracle that we qualified. And now that we're here, this is a team that truly has had to play against the world through the qualification process. And now we're observing some of that through the experiences that we're having here at the World Cup. You know, we average 100,000 plus during our national team matches in Azadi Stadium. And I think it's because it's more than just a game. It's an opportunity for these fans to jump, to dance, to sing, to chant, where they might otherwise not be able to do in the streets. So it's a way of expression. There isn't a day that doesn't go by in Iran where we're not at a restaurant, or we're not in the gym, or we're not taking a walk, that people come up to us and sincerely thank us for our contributions in qualifying Iran to the World Cup. I mean, it's amazing. You know, they say we love you. It really is genuine. They really appreciate that we were willing to come to their country and that we were willing to dedicate our 3.5 years of our lives to try to do something special. And when we achieved it, the recognition was amazing. When we arrived from South Korea into Tehran, we went to see President Rouhani, went to see former President Ahmadinejad. We went to the stadium where thousands of people welcomed and cheered on their heroes. For me, as a professional, my experience in Iran, qualifying for the World Cup, is probably the most memorable moment in my career, and I've had some good ones.
What was that night? What was the night like? I mean, you get it done, you get the result you needed. You know, the U.S. is going to be in their locker room shaking up Budweisers and doing stuff like that. What does the Iranian national team do?
Well, I mean, again, for me personally, it was emotions all bottled up, and then the court was pulled off, and everything poured out, from tears of joy to chanting and singing and jumping hysterically. We had no champagne, we didn't have the Budweisers, but we had people that were so proud to deliver happiness to their people. These players play for only two reasons. They love the game and they love their people. Everything else is a challenge, a nightmare, and a lot of obstacles to overcome.
Do you think people still underestimate the U.S.?
If they do, they're making a terrible mistake. The U.S. now has a real combination of a lot of things that make them effective.